I think it's called JR Heads North. Let's talk about February 18th, 1993. Kerry Von Erich passes away. He's a former NWA champion. In fact, at the time he passed, he was the second youngest man to win the world title at 24 years old. Luthez won it when he was 21. He's also a former intercontinental champion in the WWF. But a lot of folks thought, man, this was going to be one of the next big, great stars in our business. Ric Flair has often said that nobody got a reaction like they did in Texas. It was just their town, and it was the entire state, and they were rock stars as big as he'd ever seen. And obviously Kerry had one of the most phenomenal physiques in the history of wrestling. Did you ever meet Kerry? What were your thoughts about on his career? And was it a major shock when he passed away?
No, it wasn't a major shock when he passed away because of his lifestyle. You know, you can't hide the fact that the guy had drug and alcohol issues. And I'm talking about just steroids or muscle enhancement. Kerry was a phenomenal athlete. I mean, he had great DNA, great genetics, and he did have as much natural charisma as anybody I've ever seen. But you knew from the day one that when he first met him, I don't think I've met Kerry. I don't know how long I knew Kerry before I met him when he wasn't high. And that's just a fact. Sad. It might just been on some weed, maybe smoking some pot. I don't know. But I know he liked pills at some points in time. It just was that damn demon that he couldn't get rid of, couldn't shake. But as far as you drew a picture of a wrestler before his accident, before he got his foot amputated, or whatever the hell happened there, then he's a guy, 6'2", 245, agile, athletic, ruggedly, uniquely handsome. He had unique looks. He was a little Schwarzenegger-ish in that regard, but he was special. There's no doubt about it. He was special, but he prized apparently he prized being high over being great, and that has been a problem with wrestlers. It happened a lot throughout the 80s. Guys would rather spend their big money they're making, it's never going to end, and they'd rather spend it on material things and getting high than being great and living a good life.
Well, he left us way too early. February 18th, 1993. His funeral was held on February 22nd. Andre the Giant's funeral was held just 2 days later on February 24th. On March 10th, Dino Bravo would be murdered in his home. He shot 7 times in the head and 10 times in the torso. Man, there is too much death in this very short stretch here, is there not?
Oh God, yeah. It's just, it was out of control. Lack of management and, control, rules, structure, communication. It's a wonder that the wrestling business survived a lot of that stuff, but it goes to show where we are now. When people say, what's going to happen to your business, JR? Well, it's going to slow down. It's going to be adjusted, but it's not going to go away. The pro wrestling business is not going to die because of this virus or any other scandal or any other issue, any other calamity. It's like a goddamn roach. You can't kill them all, and the wrestling business is not going to die. So we just got to adjust with the times. But we're lucky that in that 80s, the decadent 80s, there was just not enough drugs. There was just not enough money. There was not enough Rolexes. There was not enough boob jobs. There was not enough of everything. Everything was excessive. And so I even though we lost a lot of real good men and some women, we're probably lucky, Conrad, in wrestling as fans like you and I are, that we didn't lose more because this shit was flowing, man. It was flowing.
It's pretty remarkable, what all's going on in this era, with regard to, sort of the dark side of the business. And Dark Side of the Ring on Vice is actually happening now. Earlier this week, we saw the 2-hour debut of the Chris Benoit tragedy and that story. I've had an opportunity to screen that one before it came out. I've also seen the New Jack one and the Brawl for All one. Really outstanding work again from the guys at Vice. Go out of your way to find it. It's called Dark Side of the Ring. The debut episode was 2 nights ago on the 24th. And just find Vice in your local cable provider. And I think they're even posting some little teaser clips on YouTube. But the one I'm most fascinated to see, and there's a lot of good stuff, that's being covered. Not good stuff. You know what I mean? Interesting topics, but the Dino Bravo murder is something that I don't think has been discussed nearly enough. And I know that you were, somewhat involved in Dark Side of the Ring season 2. What can you tell us about Dino Bravo and what went down there?
It was very simple. He tried to make money in a shortcut way, illegally, selling cigarettes illegally on the black market there in Montreal. He cut in on somebody's business, somebody meaning an organized crime person, and he went too deep into their territory. And as a result, I'm sure he was warned. I'm sure his wrestling ego and I'm fucking Dino Bravo. You can't tell me what to do in Montreal. This is my town, which resulted in him becoming a target and shot many times in the head. Hey, you can bet this. If you watch, like me, I've been binge watching Law and Order SVU. So I've become this expert now in criminology, Conrad. If you need to know anything, I'm your guy. I'm your guy. But he just got in business with the wrong folks, and they killed his ass. And they want to make sure everybody knew he was really going to be dead. There was no doubt in anybody's mind. He was assassinated.
Yeah,
and he was butchered with bullets. And so, and here's the irony of that. I don't know what happened to the cigarette business in Montreal, the illegal cigarette business, but it seemed like it kind of got brushed under the rug. Nobody said nothing about it. Nobody did anything about it. His death was a big story, but bottom line, he tried to make money illegally. He got in the wrong lane. He didn't stay in your lane, bro. He didn't stay in his lane, and he got his ass assassinated. Simple as that. I'm overstating the simplicity of it. It wasn't simple when a man gets butchered, but he got butchered, assassinated, without a shadow of a doubt. We're killing this guy, and this is going to be a message to anybody else that has the idea that wants to cut in on our business. The mafia thing.
Find out more on Vice, Dark Side of the Ring, coming your way. Check your local listings, but I've got it on DirecTV, and hopefully you do too. Hey, it's Conrad Thompson here to tell you a little more about what adfreeshows.com is all about. Get early, ad-free access to more than a dozen of your favorite wrestling podcasts every single week, starting at just $9. That's less than 20 cents an episode each month. And yes, you can listen to them all directly through Apple Podcasts or your regular podcast apps. How easy is that? Ad-free shows also has thousands of hours worth of bonus content and docuseries like Title Chase, Eric Fires Back, Conversations with Conrad, and The Insiders. Plus new series like The Book with David Crockett, Monday Mailbags with Mike Chioda and Nick Patrick, and a whole lot more. And you want to talk about early? You can't get any earlier than listening to the shows live. You can be a part of the live studio audience as we record the podcast. Plus, ride shotgun alongside your favorite childhood heroes for live watch-alongs, Q&As, and other interactive experiences every single month. Come on now, see for yourself what thousands of other wrestling fans from around the world have discovered, that adfreeshows.com is the best value in wrestling. Check it out today, and hey, when you do, the first week is completely free. adfreeshows.com.